Do you ever feel like your mind is a crowded, noisy city that never sleeps? You're constantly replaying past mistakes or worrying about what might happen tomorrow. This relentless mental chatter can leave you feeling drained, anxious, and completely exhausted. Well, what if I told you that the secret to a peaceful mind isn't about escaping your thoughts, but about changing where you focus them? Let me share a story about a young man named Marco. At just 24, Marco felt trapped. His mind was a battlefield, constantly torn between regret for the past and fear of the future. He felt insecure, tired, and desperate for a way to quiet the noise. He heard about a wise old man who lived on the outskirts of his village, a former psychologist known for his profound insights into the human mind. Hoping for an answer, Marco went to see him. After listening to Marco's troubles, the old man didn't offer any complex theories or lengthy lectures. Instead, he handed Marco a simple glass filled to the very brim with water. "I have a task for you," the old man said calmly. "I want you to carry this glass of water to the farthest edge of the village and come back to me, without spilling a single drop." Marco was puzzled but agreed. He took the glass, his eyes fixated on the shimmering surface of the water. As he started walking, he became acutely aware of every step he took. The path was uneven, children were playing nearby, and the wind was picking up, but Marco noticed none of it. His entire world shrank to the small circle of the glass in his hands. Every muscle was tensed with concentration. He adjusted his pace, balanced his body, and held his breath when the ground was particularly rocky. His mind was completely consumed by one single, present moment task: don't spill the water. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, he returned to the old man, the glass still full. He was breathing heavily, not from the physical effort, but from the sheer mental focus. "I did it," he said, a sense of accomplishment in his voice. Not a single drop was spilled. The old man smiled warmly. "Tell me, Marco," he asked, "while you were carrying the water, what were you thinking about? Were you worried about the argument you had last week? Were you anxious about your job interview next month?" Marco stopped and thought about it. A look of realization dawned on his face. "No," he replied slowly. "I wasn't thinking about any of that. I was only thinking about the water." "Exactly," the old man said. "For that entire time, your mind was peaceful, wasn't it? It wasn't because your problems disappeared. They were still there, waiting for you, but you didn't have space for them because your mind was fully occupied with the present moment. You were living completely in the now." He continued, "Peace is not something you find out there. It's not in a distant place or a future achievement. Peace is an internal state. It is what happens when your mind is so engaged with the present that there is no room left for fear, regret, or useless chatter." The water was just a tool to anchor your attention. In that moment, everything clicked for Marco. He finally understood. The constant anxiety he felt wasn't caused by his circumstances, but by his mind's tendency to wander away from the here and now. To find peace, he didn't need to change his past or control his future. He just needed to train his mind to stay in the present. Marco returned home that day a changed person. He knew he wouldn't be able to carry a glass of water around forever, but he had learned a powerful lesson. Whenever he felt his mind starting to drift into anxiety or regret, he would consciously bring his focus back to the present moment, to the feeling of his breath, the sound of the birds outside his window, or the taste of his morning coffee. He learned that peace wasn't a destination, but a practice. So, the next time you feel overwhelmed, try this. Pick a simple task. It could be washing the dishes, folding your laundry, or even just drinking a cup of tea. And for a few minutes, give it your absolute, undivided attention. Notice every detail, every sensation. Anchor yourself in the now. You might just find that in that simple act, your mind becomes as still and clear as that unspilled glass of water. Thanks for watching. If this story resonated with you, give this video a like and subscribe for more content to help you find your inner peace. See you next time. Have you ever felt like your mind is a runaway train, constantly shuttling between regrets of the past and anxieties about the future? It's exhausting, isn't it? Well, there's a story about a young man named Marco that might just change how you see things. Marco was only 24, but he felt 100 years old. His mind was a battlefield, constantly replaying past mistakes and worrying about what tomorrow might bring. He was insecure, tired, and desperate for a moment of peace. Hearing tales of a wise old man, a retired psychologist who lived quietly in his village, Marco decided to seek his guidance. He found the old man sitting peacefully under a large tree. "Sir," Marco began, his voice trembling slightly, "my mind is never quiet. It's full of noise. How can I find peace?" The old man looked at Marco with kind, knowing eyes. He didn't offer a grand speech or a complex theory. Instead, he handed Marco a glass filled to the very brim with water. "I have a task for you," the old man said gently. "Take this glass of water to the far edge of the village and return to me, without spilling a single drop." Marco looked at the glass, then at the bustling village path ahead. It seemed simple, yet impossible. People were rushing by, children were playing, and carts were rumbling along the cobbled street. Hesitantly, Marco accepted the challenge. He held the glass with both hands, his eyes locked on the shimmering surface of the water. He took his first step, then another, his entire world shrinking to the delicate balance of the water in that glass. He blocked out the shouts of the vendors, the laughter of the children, and the curious stares of the villagers. Every step was deliberate, every breath controlled. His mind, which was usually a storm of thoughts, was completely silent. There was no room for yesterday's failures or tomorrow's fears. There was only the glass, the water, and the present moment. After what felt like an eternity, Marco returned to the old man, the glass still full. He was breathing heavily, not from physical exertion, but from the sheer intensity of his focus. "I did it," he said, a sense of accomplishment washing over him. The old man smiled. "Tell me, Marco," he asked, "while you were carrying that glass, what were you thinking about?" Marco paused, searching his mind. "Nothing," he replied, surprised. "I wasn't thinking about anything. I was just focused on the water." The wise old man nodded. "And did you feel at peace?" Marco's eyes widened in realization. "Yes," he whispered. "For the first time in as long as I can remember, my mind was completely still. I felt peaceful." The old man gestured for Marco to sit. "You see, my boy," he explained, "you came to me looking for peace as if it were a hidden treasure. But peace is not something you find outside of yourself. It's something you create within. When your mind is completely absorbed in the present moment, there is no space for anxiety or regret. Your mind was calm because you were living fully in the now." That simple task taught Marco a profound lesson. Peace wasn't about escaping his thoughts, but about anchoring them to the present. He realized that just like carrying the glass of water, he could choose to focus his attention on whatever he was doing, whether it was eating a meal, walking through the park, or talking with a friend. By doing so, he could quiet the endless chatter in his head. Marco left the old man that day a changed person. He didn't have a magic cure, but he had something far more powerful, the understanding that peace was always available to him. He just had to bring his mind home to the present moment. So, the next time you feel overwhelmed, remember Marco and his glass of water. Take a deep breath. What can you see, hear, or feel right now? Anchor yourself in the present. You might just find that the peace you've been searching for has been right here all along. Thanks for watching. If this story resonated with you, give it a like and subscribe for more content to help you find your calm. See you next time.